Magic items are a staple of D&D games. From the immovable rod that encourages creative thinking, to the holy avenger that every paladin drools over, magic items make the game more interesting. From a story perspective, magic items are a brilliant driving force for plot, like the one ring that must be taken to Mordor. They also serve as an incredible reward for exploration, or, at other times, incentive to follow the plot hooks that you have planned. Oftentimes, the magic items available in the Dungeon Master's Guide aren't enough, so we choose to homebrew our own. Creating a brand new item for your campaign can be incredibly fun and rewarding, but it can also be intimidating if you've never done it before. So I've collected 5 tips to make sure your ideas turn into an awesome magic item that your players will love. Ready? Let's go. What's up, Butterthumps? My name is Aviad and I help game masters craft the best experience they can, and today we're doing it with magic items. Tip number 1 is to figure out the cool factor of your item. Magic items give the player an opportunity to be more awesome, either by enhancing their character's abilities or granting them new ones. Try to visualize a scene where a character uses the item to a great effect. A flying sword that intercepts an escaping foe, a flying carpet drawn as the character plummets to their doom. If you can't think of anything immediately, you can try to find more inspiration by searching some artboards, looking over a card from Magic the Gathering, or any other source that inspires you. Tip number 2 is to consider your party. We should avoid making items that steal someone's thunder. If your party gets an item that allows someone to polymorph into a beast, the druid loses an aspect that makes them unique. Of course, if your party doesn't have a druid, that item becomes a very cool choice that fills a niche that wasn't occupied by anyone. If we have a well-balanced party, this may be a bit difficult, but I'm not saying that you should avoid any form of overlap. Giving the party an item that heals doesn't necessarily mean the cleric will be left out, but we may want to reconsider if that item makes someone else a better healer than they are. One way to avoid that is to build an item that plays to a specific character's strength and amplifies it. An item that makes healing spells more powerful could work on a few party members, but none would benefit from it as much as the healer. If you're making this item for an ongoing campaign, try to think about the items you already handed to them. Which character is already well equipped? Which character is lacking something extra? In the long run, we should try to make something for everyone. Tip number 3 is to figure out the item's place in your world. Who held it before it found its way to the characters? As you draw the sword from its dragon skin scabbard, you see an inscription etched into its green steel blade. Rule with compassion, fight with valor. You recognize these words as the motto of old King Marinius, who died stopping an undead invasion 2 centuries ago. A description like that is infinitely more interesting than "you find the glowing sword," even if both of them are simple +1 weapons. The sword of the old king is an invitation to explore the world, while a glowing +1 sword is just another line on their character sheet. Tying a magic item into the game can be even more meaningful. Others could recognize the sword from the stories, and the adventurer might even gain a reputation for finding it. Perhaps the one who carries the blade is the true king of the realm, like the legend of King Arthur and Excalibur. You don't have to go that far with every item, but simply asking yourselves what was the place of this item in our world goes a long way. This video is sponsored by my patrons. For those who are new here, I publish a new D&D supplement every month for my patrons, and this month we have the Animarium Codex, a collection of 24 spirit-themed magic items. Also, you flumps, we have commissioned this gorgeous piece of art for the supplement. It's really my new screensaver because I just can't stop looking at it. So thank you so much for making this possible, and if you want to join the Flump crew and get your own copy of the supplement, you'll find the link and everything in the description. Tip number 4 is to highlight the item's magical aspects. A weapon with a cool description is so much cooler to own. Try to really imagine how it would feel to wield that kind of magic. Which sensation does it give to the characters? What is unique about it? Perhaps the characters found an axe with a blade made of pure darkness that whispers eldritch nonsense in the wielder's ear. Or a bow made of feywood that changes color and scent to match the wielder's mood. If you describe its magic in a fantastic way, the players will cherish the fantasy of owning it. Tip number 5 is to take care of game balance last. When you know what the item should do, it's time to figure out how it does it. Start with a general flow and move on to specifics afterwards. I had an idea for an arcane sphere that will explode on contact, like a grenade. The fluff is that the sphere contains shrapnel of Animarium, a unique metal that disrupts the connection between mind and soul. I imagined that getting hit by chunks of that metal would make it very difficult to concentrate on magic. So in-game, you would throw the bomb as an action and cause an explosion that would have additional effects against spellcasters. Since this is an effect that can hit multiple creatures, a saving throw makes more sense than an attack roll. In this case, I chose a dexterity saving throw to test whether the creatures are quick enough to protect their vitals from the shrapnel. So a creature hit by the bomb would take some damage. But what about the anti-magic part? I decided that if a creature makes a concentration check because of the bomb's damage, they would do so with disadvantage to represent the effects of Animarium. But I felt like that wasn't enough. I want the item to actually disable the ability to cast spells if someone was hit really badly from it. To achieve that, I stole an idea that I saw on the stat block of the Medusa in the Monster Manual. When a Medusa petrifies a creature, they get a saving throw to avoid becoming stone. Usually they need to fail 2 saves before the transformation is complete, but if they roll really badly, the transformation is immediate. Using the same idea, if a creature in the explosion radius of the bomb fails the save by 5 or more, they cannot cast spells for a full round. I left things like throwing distance, exact area of effects, difficulty of saving throws, and number of damage dice to the very end. And after comparing it with some items on the Dungeon Master's Guide, the item was ready. If this process feels like magic to you, know that it's a skill that you can build with practice. If you have an idea and want help in turning it into a 5e item, join our Discord community and tell us about it, and we will flesh it out together so it fits perfectly into your game. Thank you for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video around, and leave a comment below. That's truly the best way to help the channel grow so I can keep making more content for you all. Until next time friends, remember that you are awesome, keep being awesome, and I'll see you beyond the screen.